Hello everyone, welcome to the Greater Works and Ministry Challenge. We are now doing the Do It Again Challenge, where we're taking 5 days of product outlining. I hope that you have gathered all of your content that you already have, sermons, maybe some sermon outlines that you already have, that maybe you haven't preached yet, teachings, exhortation, maybe some Sunday school lessons that really moved your spirit, as well as excerpts from books that you may have written or plan to write or get published. Also, anything that you have used in the past, if it's in your hand, I want you to take that and repurpose it and start outlining different products. So I wanted to start with blog posts and articles in this training video, and of course I'll give you a couple of more videos, but I wanted to start with blog posts and articles because they are very easy to do. They're simple and they're relatively inexpensive to do. Blog posts, if you don't have a blog, you can check with WordPress blog or eBlogger. You can start your blogging paid site for free with either one of those. And for articles, I mean, you're just going to write and post, especially on article directories. So let's get started. I want you to really pay close attention. As I always say, let your creative juices start flowing and get your ideas. You know, the Word of God tells us that He gives us power to create wealth, and He's going to give us the ability to come up with many, many different avenues. And even with blog posts and articles, these are ways that you can actually generate income into your life, whether it's a ministry, whether you're doing it full-time, part-time, whether it's a business that you have, a marketplace ministry or business you have, or maybe you have a nonprofit organization. It's a number of things that you can do to generate income, and you can use blog posts and articles to do that. So let's get started with the teaching. The benefits of outlining, I posted this in the Facebook group. Outlines are one of the best tools that I use for writing. Number one, outlines help you to think through your topic or product type. You know, if you want to create a CD series, when you outline it, it helps you to think through what type of product am I creating, what type of topic do I want to write about, or product that I'm creating. When you outline it, it gives you a systematic flow. Even when you finish outlining, you may have to go back and literally change the order of the outline. But to get it down on paper, remember Habakkuk 2:3 says, write the vision down, make it plain upon tablets. For those who read it will run with it. That includes yourself as well. Number 2, outlines save you time. Rather than sitting down thinking it's just going to come and it's going to flow, it does happen at times, but most of the time you need to write it through. So it saves you time in just starting something and then having to go back, change it. There's that outline in front of you. You may have to tweak it a little bit, but you have a starting place. And then the third one, outlines make you a more effective communicator. Why? Because again, you're structuring what you're planning to do. You're bringing some order to your thoughts. You're bringing some order to your ideas. You're bringing some order to the vision that you have. So it helps you become an effective communicator, because when you see it in order, decent and in order, when you get ready to do it, it should flow easily. Okay? And so, moving on, blogs and articles. What is a web blog, or what is simply a blog? It's a website or a web page that is used as an online journal, a commentary, a news or information source, or opinion. In other words, you're writing writing online about certain topics, maybe what's going on in your life. You know, you look at online journals. Sometimes maybe if a person is doing a 7-day fast, every day for the next 7 days, they'll put an article on their blog about what's going on during that fasting time that they're on. Okay, it's a commentary. Sometimes people write about issues that may be happening in society today, or if you're a Bible scholar and you know the history of the church or history of Christianity, you can go out and create a blog that is a commentary, help others to grow in understanding what was going on during that time. Your opinion, you can do a review on a product, you can voice your opinion about anything, you know, or news and information source. Again, if you are training someone, you can create a blog where they can sign up and subscribe to your blog, and all of your blog posts will be related to training on whatever area, training in the area that you're specializing in. They are usually often written and maintained by a single person. However, blogs do come in two main types. Personal, that's the one that's usually maintained by a single person, and the personal blog is the most common type of blog. These blogs allow a single person to share their thoughts, feelings, and opinions with the entire world. And what I want you to focus on is with the entire world. You have to take your message to the masses. That's globally. So when you are creating products, especially in this digital age that we live in, you have to think about, I'm going to create a blog. What am I going to be talking about, and what is it that I want to reach the entire world with? What is that message? What is that information? What do I want to empower them with? Okay, then you have the corporate, business, or organization blogs. And these blogs are used to keep existing customers up to date and attracting new ones. So people who have a business, if they're doing hair care products, they'll have a blog page or site. They'll tell you about the products if they're creating products, or they'll tell you about the products that they use on their customers. They may also put pictures of before and after. This is what the hair looked like 3 weeks ago. We've been using this product for 3 weeks. Now this is what we're seeing, the result of using the product. Or if they're selling jewelry, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a business, they'll create a blog page to keep their current customers updated on events, activities, products, information that they need, and then they'll use their blog to attract people. Hey, are you interested in fashion jewelry? Do you need a customized, unique piece? So that's how they attract the new customer, because if somebody's looking for something and you have a business blog, then they can go out and see some of the pictures of your products. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example from one of my study manuals, an outlining example from one of my, it's called Friends, Foes, and Fellow Christians. It's about relationships in the church. Alright, and so I'm giving you some basic information. And this is what I want you to do with one of your products that you may already have. It could already be a CD audio series that you preached or taught. You can do exactly the same thing. It could be a study manual like this one that you did. It could be a teaching series that you did at a conference or a workshop somewhere for 2 or 3 days. It doesn't matter what it is. I want you to remember, you can repurpose and use again information that you already have. What's in your hand? Okay, so the basic information about this study manual is 35 pages, has 8 chapters in it. It's about relationships in the church. I'm using scripture in the manual. I'm talking about personality types, and I'm giving instructions. And when I say instructions, there are worksheets and exploratory type exercises in this manual. Okay, so right there, I want you to look at that. 35 pages. So that means, depending on how those pages are flowing, I may have 34 blog posts if I want to just post every page in my manual. On a blog post, I could go in and do that. I may have to tweak it a little bit so it can actually read and flow just right on that blog page. Or I can go in and make every page an article, and I can title every page, and I'll have 35 articles from a 35. Let's back it up. So 2 or 3 of those pages have something to do with me and the products that I'm selling. So let's roughly say it's about 30 to 32 pages. So you have, with that in mind, you will easily have 32 different articles or 32 different blog posts. I have 8 chapters, same thing. You can take 8 chapters and you can go in and outline those 8 chapters, and then you will have 8, just go and pull snippets out, and you have 8 blog posts or 8 articles. You can take the 8 chapters and make them an article series, or you can go in and say, in chapter 1, how many articles can I get out of chapter 1? How many articles can I get out of chapter 2? And you can have, from one study manual, a lot of articles that you can post out there. Or you can break them down. And if you don't want to do full articles, you could take excerpts from it and post it on Facebook and put a question at the end, and let your friends and followers comment on what you posted out there. Remember, it's about relationships in the church. You can do a series on that, and you can title it that. You can do a series, remember the title is Friends, Foes, and Fellow Christians. You can do a series of blog posts on friends. You can do a series on foes if I wanted to, or if this is your manual, or you can do one on fellow Christians, how to get along with your brothers and sisters in Christ. You got 3 or 4 different categories just from the title alone. Okay, and then I use scriptures. all throughout there. So you can take scriptures and expound the ones that you say in a sermon that you may didn't have time to go into detail about during the sermon. You can go back, take that sermon and expound it out, and actually create an article or blog post on the scriptures that you didn't get to expound upon. All right, I'm talking about personality type, and I can go and take each personality type and make it an article or blog post just on the personality types alone. And then the instructions. I can go through this manual, pull all of the exercises out, all of the worksheets out of this manual, and create a blog post from those exercises, and actually tell my subscribers to my blog that I'm going to give you a series of reflective, self-reflection blog posts. Well, I'm going to give you questions that teach you a little bit and give you questions that I want you to really answer. And that's all you do is post those exercise pages. Again, a lot, just from you writing down the basics of the information that you have. You can see how creatively you can come up with a lot of things from one manual. And so this manual, I use this one because my intentions here are to just dismantle this manual and do away with it and do another one in this area, because I've had this one for a while. So you might want to do the same thing. Right, so let's take a look at it. Chapter 1 is called I Call You Friend. And in chapter 1 I talk about John chapter 15 verse 15, where Jesus said, I no longer call you servants because the master doesn't confide in his servants. Now I call you my friends, because I've told you everything the Father has told me. So I give you the scripture in chapter 1, in the first chapter, the paragraph in the first chapter. Okay, and then in the second paragraph, I talk to you about what friends are. Friends share important and life-changing moments with each other. Have you ever found yourself talking to a friend saying something like, my daddy always did, and it goes on. So right there, again, it's the second paragraph. You can take that and really do in something very exciting with that. And you can, if you're doing a series on friends, you can go in here and say, you can take this paragraph and title it, Friends Share Important Things with Each Other, or something like that. Or Friends Share Life-Changing Moments with Each Other. You can title this thing, expound it out a little bit more, and there you have a brand new article from one paragraph. Okay? Then paragraph number 3 talks about, wow, isn't it wonderful that Jesus told us everything the Father has told him. When we are friends with Jesus, we are friends with the Father. So right here, you could take this, if you want to, and talk about being friends with Jesus. Expound it out a little bit more. There you have to, right there from one chapter, you have 3 different articles or 3 different blog posts. Alright, so keep that in mind. So how can you use this for blog posts and articles? For blog posts, use the entire chapter if you want to. For blog posts, you can use the first paragraph, which is what I was just explaining, adding a little more content with a picture. You can use each paragraph, adding more content, giving a new title, and adding a picture. That will give you 3 blog posts for your blog site. You can do similar things for articles. Use the entire chapter for your article. Again, use the first paragraph, adding a little more content and scriptures. Use each paragraph, adding more content, giving a new title to each paragraph. That gives you 3 articles for your website or for wherever you're posting your articles. So here's an example for a blog post. You see I put the picture in the upper left-hand corner. You can do that on WordPress or eBlogger. You can add an image. And I changed it, instead of saying, I call you friend, I changed the title to, Are You God's Friend? Okay, and so again, I have the same passage of scripture. And here you can work it, and then you can go in here, pull out keywords and expound upon them, and then have people really take a reflective look on the inside to determine if they truly are friends with God. And if not, then you can tell them, at the end, here's what you need to do to literally become a friend of God. So there you have it. So let's go on. So you need to do the same thing for each paragraph, adding content and picture. Whatever information or rich content that you already have, that's what you can do, exactly the same thing as this. So remember, retitle each paragraph, add more rich content, add a picture that reflects the title or some of the content. Alright? For articles, what you want to do is post the entire page as an article on your website or on Facebook or wherever they let you post it. Just take the whole first chapter, if you will. If this was your manual, you could take the whole first chapter and post it, because it's your writing, it's yours. And so make sure, like for most places that let you post articles, want you to make sure that your grammar is correct, that there are no typos. So make sure that you correct it. Usually on article sites as well as blog sites, there's a spell checker. So that's built into the software. So again, but always do it. Even if you copy and paste and you say, hey, I checked it when I did it in Word, perfect. Wow. Check it anyway. Check it again and again and again and again. And before you hit publish on the blog site, make sure you read it. Make sure it flows in reading, because you then become the subscriber and say, hey, if I was someone else and I was reading this, when I'm reading it, how is it flowing? How is the flow going? So you want to make sure that you do that. And again, for articles, when we go back, you can do the same thing for articles. You can retitle each paragraph, add a little bit more, add more rich content. And you can, most article sites, I haven't seen too many that allow you to put pictures or images with your article, except your picture, And usually at the bottom of an article, you can put some information about yourself. If you have a website, I usually, if I post something from this, I'll put that, that it comes from this particular manual, study manual, all those kinds of things. There's always some guidelines that you have to follow, but whatever they are, take advantage of it. Whatever they say you can write about yourself, they say you put your website or your blog post, whatever you have, put it out there. Whatever they tell you, and always, same thing with blog sites and as well as article sites. Whatever they say you cannot do, don't do it. But again, take advantage of everything that you can do. And for those who don't have blogs, you don't have anywhere where you're putting your articles, use Facebook. They used to have something called Notes. They may still have that. I'll double check it for you. If they do, that's where you want to place your article. It's called a note. You create that note. You're going to publish it. It's going to show up in your timeline. You may have already gotten where people do these long article type things and they tag everybody and send you'll get something in your email. You've been tagged in a post. Well, I don't really tag anybody when I do it. I just let it go to friends of friends. Why? Because I want it global. I don't want it just the people who are following me, who are friends. I want their friends of their friends to see anything that I write. Especially, remember, when you're writing your message, when you're speaking or writing, and now we're talking about writing it, that your words have their spirit and their life. So I don't want just people who are following me to have the opportunity to read it. I want friends of friends to read it. Sometimes I just put public. If you put key words in there for your tag, for your keywords, or if they say tags, I don't know if Facebook allows you to put keywords, but on your blog post you can put keywords. And so if somebody's looking up, friend of Jesus, your articles or your blog post may show up. So keep that in mind. So your assignment is actually to take what you have, the content that you already have, and I want you to see if you can outline it like this. Go in there, going back to the first part where I told you, hey, my study manual. Look at if you have a study manual, how many pages is it? How many chapters do you have? If you have a sermon that you preach, okay, how many pages did my sermon come to? And how many key principles did I have in that sermon? And when I preached it, what was I teaching the people? What are the key kingdom principles? Because you can take each one of those principles and expand them out even more. And now you have, let's say you had 5 principles. Now you have 5 blog posts or 5 different articles. So that's your assignment, is to go take what you have, outline it from there. If you don't do anything but write the basics down, how many pages, how many chapters, or how many outlines. If you have a CD audio series already, how many audio CDs do you have? What's the title of each one? What is the title of the series? What's the key points on CD number 1? You may have to listen to it again if you don't have the notes already written down somewhere. So much you can do with what you already have. Some people have heard certain messages and things that you've taught, some have not. And the ones who have not, those are the ones that when you repurpose it, those are the ones that you want to reach with it. Remember, people have different learning styles. Some people learn from reading. Some people learn from just listening and hearing. Some people learn from a combination of it, listening and hearing, and some people learn from seeing, meaning that they'll read your blog post and they'll watch videos, you know, all that kind of stuff. If it's in front of them, they'll learn it. They can learn it from seeing it, doing it like that. So we're starting with blog posts and articles. I want you to stay connected. I'll put more training videos out there for maybe outlining. I'll do the next one on outlining a telecall that most of you have experienced now. A lot of people have experienced telecalls. But again, you can take your information. We could take this same information that I'm sharing with you as an example from one of my study manuals and do a similar outline for a telecall. And again, it's the same information, but you would have created two products. You have a blog post and you'll have an audio series that can go with it, or an audio book, study book, if you will. So keep that in mind. Let your creativity continue to flow. It's going to work out. We're going to make it through these days, and then we're going to blast out in June, and we're going to really get into Greater Works in Ministry Reloaded, and really focus on maybe a couple of these areas and really get into some rich details about how to make this happen. You know. So again, thank you so much. I'm Ginger London. I'm your challenge host and the owner of GingerLondon.com. God bless you. I'll talk to you on the next presentation. Thank you.